Hello everybody, are you guys ready for this? We're going to bring out a big, maybe not so big, but a very scary little animal. So right now, my name is Elena, and I'm one of the lucky people who get to work here at Affection Section. And my teammate, Isaac's going to be coming out with a super cool critter. So, any guesses what we have rolling out here? Is it a gorilla? What do you think? A tarantula. That's a good guess because it's very small. So you're going to see Isaac is going to, here I can help you?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do this together. So this is a traveling habitat. Do you have a guess? A hedgehog. No, so that's a very, very good guess because she can see him. So as you, if you're little and you want to see him up close, he's very small. This is a lesser Madagascar Hedgehog Tenrec. So it's a humongous name for a little tiny creature. And what's super cool, you notice Isaac is wearing leather gloves. So you guys will want to take turns so that all the little kids can see. This little guy is named Flynn. Flynn is kind of an old Tenrec. He's actually on a special medication because his teeth are getting kind of worn down. Yeah, make sure nobody touches his little enclosure because you don't want to make it vibrate. He's a little tiny dude, but he has pretty good hearing. So you don't want to hurt his little baby ears.
And I will be bringing him around, carrying him around so you'll get an up-close look. So if you don't see him now, no worries.
But what's really cool is that you guys are getting to see this animal. So if you go to Madagascar, which is a little tiny island nation off the coast of Africa, you could spend a whole month there and you might never see Tenrec. And the reason is these guys they live in the trees. That's called arboreal, and they can also be terrestrial. But they don't just go walking around like you and I do. They hide. So they'll hide in the holes in trees. They'll hide under brush and rocks and logs. And they're also more active in the dark. So does anybody know what that's called? Animals that are more active? Yes, sir. He's thinking. No. Yes, sir. Do you know? Nocturnal. You had it at the tip of your tongue, didn't you? Yeah, good job there. Good. So yeah, he's nocturnal. Well, what do you think this little animal likes to eat? Anybody? Yes, ma'am. Insects. Outstanding. Yes, they love to eat insects and spiders and worms, and weirdly, they'll eat eggs, which I think is incredible. So they have a lot of little tiny teeth, and the reason Isaac's wearing those gloves is not because of his spines, because they're not that pokey. He's wearing it because they can bite, and it hurts. It smarts. They got some sharp teeth, although Flynn's kind of old, so his teeth are a little worn out. And also, Flynn is he loves coming out here. So right now, most Tenrecs are in torpor. And torpor is almost like hibernation, but not quite. So you know how bears will hibernate and they go to sleep for the whole entire winter? These guys kind of slow down, they eat a little less, they spend a lot more time sleeping. But Flynn is Action Jackson. He's got stuff to do, places to go. And what's interesting is Flynn lives backstage. So he has a very nice habitat back there. He's got things to climb, he's got cool little huts to hide under, he's got a spinning wheel to exercise on, he has a sand pit, and that's where his food and water are. So it's this whole habitat. This is his traveling habitat. So what happened is every animal in Disney's Animal Kingdom, and in fact in all accredited zoos, not just in North America, but around the world, animal welfare is our primary concern. So everything they do is voluntary. So they're little, we could just pick them up and take them places, but we ask their permission first. So you tap on, we have a tube, like if we want to weigh them, which we do once a week, we tap on the tube, and if they decide to get in the tube, they get a worm. And then they can sit on the scale, or they can come out and do a show. Now, Flynn really enjoys coming out here and doing this. One of the most important senses for these animals is it's chemosensory, but this sort of sense of smell. So he gets very excited when he gets to go in this cart, because a lot of our other Tenrecs go in there, including females. And so he gets pretty excited. He's looking around. He's like, where is she? I can't find her. I can smell her. But yeah, he looks all over the place. And when Tenrecs get super excited, they have what looks like milky tears. So they'll get white substance on their eyes. And that is something that indicates their excitement. Now, these guys don't hang out in large groups. They're kind of solitary. The only time you'll see Tenrecs together pretty much is if it's a mating pair or it's a mom and her kids. So they're not the most social of animals, although Flynn makes you think he is, because look at him, he's having a ball. This is really fun for Flynn. our other Tenrecs like to come out. We have a great number of them. We actually have had babies here, which is very important. So when you think about how do we keep these animals on the planet, well, they are in the pet trade, and I will tell you, that's not good to get them as a pet because you don't know the genetics of those animals. Same with any kind of primate, dogs and cats and fish and lizards. Those are good pets to have. But exotic animals, you want to let them be at the zoo or at a place like Disney's Animal Kingdom. So our breeding them makes sure that zoos can actually have these animals to be ambassadors so they can come out and meet you guys without having to get them from the pet trade. So I definitely want to, that's one way you can help these little guys. Does anybody have any questions so far about Isaac, his hat, Flynn's habitat? Any questions? No questions? Well, then I can keep blabbing. Isaac, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I get to work with Finn a lot. He is adorable. He is an old man, like Elaine was saying. He's 13 years old, which is like really old for a Tenrec. And I wear these gloves. He's never bitten me once, and even if he did, he's got barely any teeth left, so it wouldn't really hurt. So it's more just a safety precaution that we take as a standard for all of our animals. He's a super cutie patootie, and I love bringing him out. You got a question, buddy? You got a question? Yeah, what's your question?
I'll come in closer. Tell me your question. He is a little bit cute. We've had a declaration more than an inquiry, but yes, we've established that this animal is a little bit cute. And I couldn't agree with you guys more.
Yeah.
Flynn is cute. Not only is Flynn cute physically, but his temperament, his personality, he's a very charming Tenrec. Some of them, we have one female named Magenta, who's been a mom before, and she's kind of like, done with that. You mostly see the rear end of her because she's always in her hide. She's like, yeah, give me the food, and go on, But Flynn is very active and very involved, and I think that's part of what helps his cuteness level. Anybody else have a question or a declaration? No, you guys? No? Did everyone get a chance, if you're short or if you're an adult and you're curious, did you guys get to come up and look at him? If you didn't, feel free to. Because it's very rare to see these animals. It's not somebody that you would get to see. It's not like giraffe. Giraffe are endangered, but we see them a lot because they're large and in charge and stomping all over the place. So there's Flynn. So you'll notice he has, even in his travel habitat, he has a thing to hide under, that colorful piece of wood thing there. And he's got a coconut shell if he wants to sit inside of something. And we'll use coconut shells a lot for them. They also have hard bowls. They like to take sand baths. These little animals will self-anoint, which means they kind of put their scent around. And they also will use the sand as part of taking care of their skin. So, yeah, pretty neat. So you can tell when you look at him that vision is not his primary way of encountering the world. He does go by smell a lot. So when he gets his little tiny medicine for his teeth and gums, doxycycline, he gets 0.01 milliliters, which is like, you pull it up in a syringe, you're like, I can barely see it. But you put that down for him, you go tap tap on his thing, and he comes up, and this little sweet animal is like, wow, and he like gobbles it up. He'll like bite the syringe. He loves his doxycycline. I guess it tastes good, and then he gets a worm for eating it. So he gets that twice a day, and that's part of what we do to take care of our animals. All of our animals, whether it's a goat, a gorilla, a Tenrec, elephants, everybody does that voluntary health care. So everything they do, foot trims, being trained for x-ray, ultrasound, or having the veterinarian palpate you or check out your teeth and gums, all of that's voluntary as much as possible. Now sometimes with x-rays, some animals will hold still, but some animals are so wiggly, you might give them a little sedative to kind of calm them down. But they usually, everything they do is based on operant conditioning or positive reinforcement. So if anyone here is a teacher, you guys are very familiar with that concept. But it's a very positive way of working with the animals. Everything is their choice. They have control over their life. They make the decisions about what they're going to do in their day. So that is something that we definitely like to let people know about, because there is a window to the veterinary clinic inside the building here, Rafiki's Planet Watch. Those animals, if you see them under anesthesia, they actually went and got their shot voluntarily. So, the gorillas or the elephants are trained for voluntary blood draw. You do it every day, so we'll make a pretend syringe with a paper clip inside of the syringe instead of, or you can tip the needle, and you'll do a pretend pretend injection every day. So, you know, you just kind of pretend to stick them, give them a treat, pretend to stick, and it's no big deal. And the day they actually get their shot, they're like, it's another day at work, and then fall asleep, you know, or they have their vaccines. So that's very important. Very important part of their care. So Flynn's pretty active right now. It's warm out today. But even when it was chilly, we had him out here the other day, and normally we're worried about them, you know, getting chilly, and he was raring to go. So there are about 28 species of tenrecs on the planet. I think it's 25 come from Madagascar, that little island nation off the coast of Africa. The other 3 are from Africa. So that's pretty cool. I have not been to Africa. Anyone here, have you been to Africa or Madagascar or any of those cool places? Me neither. So it's fun to go to zoos and aquariums and be able to see these animals up close and personal like this.
Well, luckily you can go to Africa right here in Animal Kingdom.
Yes, you can go to Africa right here in Animal Kingdom and take a safari ride, which is pretty awesome. And it's actually, we had scientists when I worked elephants here that were based in South Africa, or they actually were South African, and they said it was very realistic. They were surprised, and then they saw a cardinal, and they were so enthusiastic about a very common bird in North America. They're like, what is that amazing bird? And I'm like, it's a cardinal. You know, so we have special stuff here too. But yeah, so anybody know ways you can help animals in the wild? Any ideas? Yeah? What about things like, yeah, what do you think?
The tail kind of has a little bit of a like pokey butt. Yeah, kind of stuff.
Don't throw, you recycle, right? Don't throw everything away and think everything's rubbish. Totally. That's important because even if it's paper, if we print on both sides, or don't print if we don't need to, or recycle the paper, that's saving the woods where an animal like Flynn lives. What's another way you can help animals in the wild? She says if they're in danger, you can get them out of being endangered and help them. And one very important way that you can do that is supporting your local AZA accredited zoo, because we work internationally to breed and keep the genetics of our populations healthy, so that when all these little guys grow up, we'll still have these animals on the planet. Well, I've been blabbing at you guys for a long time. If there are no further questions, Isaac's going to walk around with Flynn, and we can just one-on-one answer your questions. But thank you guys for hanging out with us and meeting Flynn. And he is very cute.
Yeah, what's your question?
He is a little bit cute. We've had a declaration more than an inquiry, but yes, we've established that this animal is a little bit cute. And I couldn't agree with you guys more.
Yeah.
Flynn is cute.